Hi, Darth Naga here again for the Chili Foundry. I'm at the Chili Fiesta and I'm here with Stuart McAllister of Hot-Headz. Hi Stu.
Hi Darth.
I'm still not used to that name yet. Okay, I've got a couple of questions to ask you.
Okay.
I'll refer to my little notes here. Okay. One of the first questions I've got to ask, how, why and when did you get into the business of hot sauces?
Well, it's interesting you say business of hot sauces because that's really what I mean. I got into chilies sort of later. It was the hot sauces that grabbed my attention. In fact, I was talking to Sarah, who organises the show along with Jim, just last night. We were trying to figure out how many years we've been coming here, and we reckon it was 1995.
Oh my god.
There were 4 of us here in this walled garden.
Yeah.
And it's just grown and grown from there.
So the West End Chili Fiesta has actually been going since 95?
We're trying to remember whether it's 15 years or 14, 15, I can't remember, but she found a little plan of who was exhibiting.
Oh my god! Oh, it was a bit smaller back then as well.
It was just in this wall garden area. So,
right.
But then of course this couldn't cope with it as more and more people came. So it's grown fantastically.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. What visions do you have for Hot-Headz for the future?
For Hot-Headz, I want us still to be seen as the first place you come to for hot sauces. So whether it's our own brand or other people's, just to keep our brilliant service. We supply everything from online next day delivery to delicatessens and fine food stores. I just want our brand to become stronger rather than spend so much time selling other people's products.
Totally. Okay. And going on from that question, you mentioned supermarkets and such. Would you actually like to see your products on supermarket shelves?
We've been there, done that. We supplied Sainsbury's for 3 years, Waitrose, Safeway before they were bought out. And we've sold something like 300,000 bottles of Hot-Headz Burns over the years.
Right.
That's from one to you, one to someone else, to container loads to supermarkets.
Yeah.
And really, it's kind of, it didn't really sit well with me that the sort of corporate approach to it. We're more of a chili company, and we want to
I can understand.
Sell products to people who want them rather than to supermarkets. But we'd never say never.
No.
You take rough with the smooth.
Yeah. If you're off it, they go, we want to pay you vast amounts to put Hot-Headz on the shelves. You'd be like, maybe.
More like they'll ask us if we want to pay them vast amounts to put products on their shelves.
Right, what's the hottest product? Out of all the stuff you sell, what's the hottest one you sell, and have you actually tried it yourself?
I always qualify that question, if you don't mind, by saying the hottest sauce. So anything that, to me, doesn't come in sort of 5-ounce woozy bottles.
Isn't a sauce.
To me, it isn't a sauce.
No, that's fair enough.
So, little pepper extracts and stuff, they're just ridiculously hot, so everyone knows that. But I would say it's got to be our Hot-Headz Burns Second Assault.
Which is...
Right
on the end.
The evil looking one.
Hot-Headz Burns Second Assault. I've got a bottle of this at home, obviously. And this stuff, from my personal opinion, obviously as a reviewer, there's a bit of flavour there. There's a nice kick of flavour, but it's the heat that this is all about, isn't it?
That's right. It's definitely a step up from the original.
The seeds sat at the bottom there. It's just insanity. The heat coming off this, in my opinion, like I said, the first year I came here, I was like, oh no, Blair's the hottest. And then Mrs. Naga behind the camera, she turned around and said to me, no, Second Assault is definitely hotter. And then when I came the following year and tried this stuff, and that was a bad day for me.
It's definitely a notch up from the Hot-Headz, the original Hot-Headz.
Yes, the original Hot-Headz Burns.
You got a little bit of chipotle, you got a bit of flavour there.
Yeah.
You've got a killer heat that most people are still impressed with. But all our hardcore Hot-Heads, like yourself, are going a step further each time.
We try. But this is my main sauce. I use that.
I think that's the balance of the heat and the flavour.
Definitely.
You get the flavour.
Definitely. The flavour's fantastic in that stuff. Absolutely amazing. Right. Okay, so that's the one, the hottest sauce you've had, and you've tried it yourself, obviously, and it's insane. But what is your favourite sauce that you have?
The favourite one is one of the ones I've stocked ever since I started, is the Brother Brewbury's African hot sauce. Brilliant flavour, very unusual.
Right.
Actually, from, say, a competitor, a UK based, I think it's got to be the Naga Mana from Gerald at Chili Company.
From the Chili Company.
Great Naga flavour, nice fresh Naga flavour,
Yeah.
a bit of sweetness from mangoes and other bits of raisins.
Excellent.
Yeah, good depth to that. Nice one.
Right. Okay, and the only other question I think I've got for you, and a lot of Hot-Headz fans out there want to know, how did you come up with the name? And Dr. Hot, obviously it's you in a cartoon sort of form, but how did you come up with that as well?
Hot-Headz, it just seemed appropriate. we sort of messed around with, you know, different names that we were thinking of, and we just kept coming back to Hot-Headz, you know, the Chili-Headz, the Hot-Headz guy.
Yeah.
And basically, my sister had the idea of putting a Z on the end to make it a little bit different.
Right.
Second part of the question, Dr. Hot's like an alter ego. When I first got into chili sauce business, or hot sauce business, I had to read up on what these mad guys, Dave from Insanity, Blair, what they were doing. And I suddenly realised I was replicating what they were doing without knowing it. I was buying pure capsaicin, making up Who Dares Burns at home with little homemade labels. That's how it started. When you start reading about, you know, the chemical makeup, the alchemy of making hot sauces, and how you get this nuclear arms race of who's got the hottest.
Right.
It just seemed to be a kind of mad scientist behind in the
that's
background working away. So I thought, well, he's a doctor.
There
Some
he is.
Dr. Hotz with his head.
No, that's
a little
good.
character. Flamey
Flames for hair, yeah. And someone's actually got a tattoo of that as well, I've noticed.
Somebody's got a tattoo of that on his leg, and somebody else I know's got a tattoo on their arm of,
I don't know
the Who Dares Burns logo.
I don't know who that could be. There we go, a little bit of that. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously I'm a massive fan of Hot-Headz, and so is the Chili Foundry. So thank you very much for taking your time. Stuart McAllister from Hot-Headz.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. And this is Darth Naga, and we'll see you a bit later on. Thank you.